I am 81 years old, and I'm sitting in this garden because the house behind me is too quiet to bear. It's a beautiful house. 5 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, a gourmet kitchen with countertops that cost more than my first 3 cars combined. I spent 60 years of my life running a race that had no finish line just to own that house, and today I've decided to tell you exactly how they caught me. I didn't just work a job. I sacrificed the only currency that truly matters, time, to a machine that forgot my name the very day I retired. I thought I was building a legacy, but looking out at these trees today, I realize I was just paying for a high-end cage. You hear people talk about the rat race, like it's some abstract financial concept you find in a textbook. It's not. It's a visceral, physical theft. It's the sound of your daughter's voice getting colder over the phone because, after years of you being busy, she finally stopped expecting you to show up. I remember the exact moment the trap snapped shut on me, though I didn't know it at the time. I was 34 years old. My daughter had a dance recital. I had promised her for a month that I would be there in the front row. But a crisis happened at the office. My boss told me I was the only one who could fix it. He told me I was essential. So I stayed. I fixed a spreadsheet that nobody remembers today. And I missed the only time my daughter would ever dance that piece. She's 50 now. We don't talk much. That dance recital was the first brick in the wall between us. I traded her childhood for a performance review that gave me a 3% raise. That is the cost of the trap. I signed a 30-year mortgage when I was 28. At the time, I felt like a man. I felt successful. I didn't realize I had just handed a bank the keys to my freedom for the next 3 decades. That piece of paper didn't give me a home. It gave me a master. For 30 years, I was too afraid to speak up when I was treated poorly. I was too afraid to quit when my soul was screaming for a change. I was too afraid to follow the business idea I had in my 30s because I owed a bank a check every 30 days. I traded my courage for a zip code. I stayed in a cubicle that drained the color from my world because I wanted a granite countertop and a lawn that looked better than my neighbor's. I spent my best, most energetic years protecting a house that I only really saw at night when I was too exhausted to do anything but collapse on the sofa. Look at this garden. It's peaceful, isn't it? I could have been sitting here 40 years ago. But I thought I had to earn this peace. I thought peace was something you bought at the end of a life of stress. I remember my 50th birthday. Most people celebrate that milestone with friends and family. I spent mine in a generic hotel room in Chicago. I had a cold turkey sandwich from a vending machine, and I was staring at a laptop screen until 2 in the morning. I told myself I was doing it for the family. That is the biggest, most seductive lie the trap tells you. It wraps your ego in the cloak of provider. But my family didn't want the extra $5,000 in the bank account that year. They wanted a father who wasn't a ghost. They wanted a husband who could look his wife in the eye without thinking about his unread emails. I was providing them with a lifestyle, but I was robbing them of a life. I was a success in the boardroom and a total stranger in my own hallways. By the time I reached the top of the ladder, the title of vice president, the corner office, the respect of my peers, I realized the ladder was leaning against a graveyard of my own making. My health was the first thing I traded on the black market of the corporate world. I drank 6 cups of coffee to shock my heart into waking up every morning, and I drank half a bottle of scotch every night to numb the anxiety so I could sleep. I ignored the sharp pains in my chest at 45. I ignored the way my back felt like it was made of broken glass at 55. I told myself the project couldn't wait. I told myself I'd get healthy someday. Now, someday is here, and I have the money to travel anywhere on the planet. But I don't have the knees to walk the streets of Paris. I have the security I worked 60 years for, but I spent half of it on specialists and prescriptions. I traded my vibrant, youthful body for a pile of paper, and now that paper is useless because it can't buy back a single day of vitality. The trap is built on a single, poisonous word: more. The system is designed to make sure you never feel like you have arrived. I always thought I just needed one more promotion, one more bonus, one more zero in the 401k. I thought that then I would finally be free to live. But more is a horizon. The closer you get to it, the further it moves away. I was a rat on a wheel, running until my lungs burned, thinking I was making progress, only to realize at 81 that the wheel was bolted to the floor of a basement. I could have been free at 40. I had enough money then to live a simple, beautiful life. But my ego wouldn't let me stop. I wanted the title. I wanted the prestige. I let my vanity drive my life into a brick wall. And now I'm looking at the wreckage, wondering why I cared so much about what people at a golf club thought of me. The system we live in, it's not a community. It's a meat grinder. It takes your best years, the years when you can actually feel the wind on your face and the sun on your skin, and it turns them into quarterly profits for a corporation that doesn't know your children's names. I watched men I worked with drop dead at their desks at 58. I watched a colleague have a stroke during a board meeting. Do you know what the company did? They posted his job opening on LinkedIn before his family had even picked out a casket. That should have been my wake-up call. I should have walked out that day. But I didn't. I was afraid of the silence. I was afraid to find out who I was without my job title. I had become so intertwined with the machine that I thought I was the machine. Don't wait until you are 81 to see the bars of your cage. If you are sitting in your car right now, listening to this in traffic, or if you are staring at a computer screen in a fluorescent-lit office feeling that hollow, aching void in your chest, listen to me. That ache isn't depression. It isn't burnout. It is your soul screaming at you to save your life while there is still something left to save. Stop buying things you don't need to impress people who are just as trapped and miserable as you are. Stop trading the precious Saturdays of your children's lives for a slightly better car lease. Your kids won't remember the car. They will remember that you weren't there to teach them how to catch a ball or how to drive. I beat the system only by surviving it, but I lost almost everything that actually mattered along the way. My house is a museum of things I bought to reward myself for a life I hated living. It is a mausoleum. My bank account is full and my heart is empty. I finally stopped running, but there is no one left to catch me at the finish line. My wife and I are like two ships that spent 40 years in different oceans. We don't know how to speak the same language anymore. The door to the cage was always unlocked. I could have walked out at any time. But I was so busy decorating the cage, so busy making it comfortable, that I forgot I was a prisoner. I see young people now talking about quiet quitting or the great resignation, and the old men of my generation laugh at them. They call them lazy. They aren't lazy. They are the only ones who are sane. They see the trap before it snaps shut. They realize that a life spent in a cubicle is a life wasted no matter how much they pay you. I wish I had been that lazy. I wish I had had the courage to be unproductive in the eyes of society so I could have been productive in the eyes of my family. Walk out now. Walk out while you still have the strength to hike a trail. Walk out while your children still want to hear your stories. Walk out while you still remember the person you were before the world told you that your only value was your productivity. I worked 60 years to find the exit, and I'm standing outside now in the cold air, telling you the grain they put in the corner of the cage is a lie. It's not meant to nourish you. It's meant to keep you there until you're used up. I missed 47 Saturdays in 1 year. I can never get them back. I missed my wife's eyes turning from bright to dull. I missed the chance to be a man who owned himself. At 81, I am finally my own master, but the master has no subjects and no kingdom, just a 5-bedroom house and a lot of regrets. Don't be me. Don't wait. The trap is real, and the only way to win is to stop playing their game. Get out. Get out now. Life is what happens the moment you stop working for the machine and start living for your own heart. I found the exit. It's right there. Please, for the love of God, walk through it before it's too late. Every promotion I got felt like a victory for a day, and then it felt like a heavier chain for a decade. I remember the golden handcuffs. That's what we called it. They give you the stock options, the car allowance, the private club membership. They make it so that your lifestyle is so expensive that you can't leave. You become a high-paid slave. You think you're a king, but you're just a bird in a gilded cage, and you're the one who locked the door. I watched my friends lose their marriages, their health, and their sanity for a title. We all did. We all stood around at cocktail parties talking about our success, while we were all secretly taking pills just to get through the week. If I could go back to my 30-year-old self, I wouldn't tell him to work harder. I wouldn't tell him to invest better. I would grab him by the shoulders and scream, "Go home, go play with your kids, go tell your wife she's beautiful. The office will be there tomorrow, but your life is happening right now." I didn't listen to the few people who tried to tell me that. I thought they were unambitious. I thought they didn't understand what it took to be a real man. Now I see that they were the only ones who were truly men. They owned their time. I sold mine to the highest bidder, and it turns out the price was way too low. Now, I sit on my porch and watch the sun go down. It's a beautiful view. But I'd trade this entire house and every cent in my retirement fund just to go back to one of those 47 Saturdays I missed. Just one. To sit in the grass, to watch my son play, and to not be thinking about a client or a contract. Just to be there. But I can't. The trap took those days, and it doesn't give refunds. Don't let them take your Saturdays. Don't let them take your soul. You think you have time, but you don't. You have a finite number of breaths, and you've already used half of them. Use the rest for something that matters. Use them for love. Use them for peace. Use them for yourself. The machine will keep turning without you. It always does. So let it turn. And you? You just walk away. I want to hear from you. I read every single word you write. Go to the comments right now and tell me. What is the one thing the trap took from you that you are going to take back today? Is it your weekends? Is it your peace? Is it your time with your kids? Write it down. Claim it. Making it public is the first step to breaking the cage. I'm Bill. I finally found the exit, and I'm standing here waiting for you. Thank you for spending your most precious currency, your time, with me today. I see you in the next video.